Today's July 5th, 2017, and this is the Investitute podcast, back from a nice, I don't know, would you say a long weekend, John?
I would. I didn't trade Monday at all. So I'd say it was a long weekend. Even though we were open half-day Monday, it was not a trading week.
Yeah. Well, I came in Monday, and we saw on Investitute, we saw that we had activity in ATVI, which is the, I guess, Call of Duty.
Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, and I'm trying to come up with this idea, where we talk about a lot about trading, as you know, and that's kind of what we do at Investitute. I said, well, wouldn't it be cool to put that into a video? And lo and behold, there's tons of that footage online. I'm like, God, that stuff is it's like a movie. It's like Band of Brothers, and, it's just amazing. So I took the video, and then I cut the video into the activity we were seeing, which was the ATVI symbol, 57.5 in July. They got earnings coming out in August. And guess what? The stock's up like $1.13 today. So I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it was just kind of cool. I don't know. You saw it. Well,
yeah.
I posted it on your site.
It's pretty freaking awesome, and it's real activity. It's hot and heavy, and knock on wood, the stock's moving higher.
Yeah.
So that was one reason that I was not entirely unhappy, but on the other hand, not entirely happy that I didn't trade yesterday or Monday.
Yeah, I know, and I got beat up on a few things, as you know, and it's just holding there. Like you talked on Fast Money today about your energy trades. Oh,
Oh my God! It's like every time, and just so the folks that aren't regular listeners, or if you're a first-time listener, thank you. Hopefully, a friend set you up with us, but. I don't necessarily say I have to pick a bottom in energy, Andrew. That's not what I'm trying to do. But, you see unusual activity, whether it's in energy, whether it's banking, whether it's processing, whether it's foods or even retail. Gosh, you and I will trade it. We'll trade almost anything. But, I mean, energy is where money goes to die. I mean, you get a one-day move or a two-day move, and then all of a sudden they just pound it back down. I mean, and again, that's why I should stick with what I said on Fast and a halftime report, and that is, Andrew, just trade the effing crude oil itself, because I don't have to pick a bottom in that one, but at least I can take advantage when, the puts get too pumped up at 43. Okay, sold. Sell those puts at 43. For crude oil, and just, it's kind of the opposite of what I normally would do, but it's the only thing that's working for me in energy. Every other energy trade I do, it's like it moves for 2 days and then gets killed for a day. And then it moves for 2 days and gets killed for a day.
I know. Well, I've gotten my face ripped off on NBR, but I'm holding on to it. I'll hang in there. I'm not worried.
Wow.
It's a long summer.
I did a new one today. But I just did the energy transfer equity, ETE.
Oh, yeah.
And as the name sort of implies, it's not, doesn't matter what price you pulled it out of the ground, you got to move it somewhere, right? And one of the ways people move oil and natural gas is Kinder Morgan, KMI, obviously ETE. These are companies that are involved with pipelines and so forth, and energy movement. And boy, those seem to be the only place that I've been making money in this whole screwed up world of energy, other than trading the futures. That's what I'm sticking.
What are you seeing in ETE? I got to pull it up. It looks like it's down 50 cents. It's like 18
August
bucks.
18 calls. Yeah, I think it was the August 18 calls. They bought like 10,000 of them.
Right at the
that's
money.
a million share equivalent. Yeah. Every option's for 100 shares of stock, so you trade 10,000. You're a player. I mean, that's a big chunk, and that's why I jumped on those and traded those today. So, knock on wood, Andrew, that won't be one of them that bites me.
Speaking of summer events, Amazon I know we keep coming back to this. They got the, I think it's Prime Day, which is the 11th. I mean, it's like there's kind
Coming
of,
up next week. Yep.
yeah. Are we trading around that at all? God, it's up $20 today.
God, we probably should. And, the pure plays, plural plays, are to buy Amazon and sell, their the people that they Amazoned, the people that they hurt, because they hurt a lot of businesses. I mean, look today, Andrew, at O'Reilly, ORLY. It's not that everybody's going online to buy all their auto parts, but they do buy a fair amount online, and even O'Reilly says, hey, we got hurt by that. Again, you're not going in there probably to buy some of the heavier stuff, even though you could. We all know heavier stuff can be shipped by Amazon or Wayfair or whoever.
Oh, trust me, I know. Downstairs where we take the packages, people get tires delivered to the little old Korean lady. I'm like looking at tires down there. I'm like, what the hell are these people doing here? Next thing you know, I'm going to see an engine block. These kids don't even drive in this building. Anyway, don't get me started. But anyway, O'Reilly, go ahead. Car parts.
Yep. But
air fresheners.
So look at AZO, AutoZone. Look at O'Reilly, ORLY. I mean, they just get spanked. And I'm thinking, Andrew, that Prime Day is another prime day to be short the people that get hurt by Amazon and long Amazon itself, because they'll give you a 30-day trial. And once you're in, you're in. I mean, it's damn tough to get out because it's just so good. So much stuff's available, obviously for included within that prime fee. And then you start finding new stuff. You start seeing the music and the movies and so forth.
You can watch.
And
You can watch the old 24s. I've been watching all the 24s with my kid. That's worth the prime right there.
Hook you, you're hooked.
Oh yeah, we watch a couple 24s every night. Jack Bauer. So what do you think? The thousands? I might look at the thousands in this again. It's at $973. God, I don't even know what the premium on these things are going to be. I'll have
Maybe
to look at
push it out a couple of months. You know what? I wouldn't mind being out in September or so, Andrew. Not just for the Prime Day, but back to school. Be in the the 980s or the 990s or even the thousands you're talking about, and short something above it. In other words, don't just, especially for newbies, don't just be long it. Be long with a defined amount of risk, and maybe even cut into some of that time decay and volatility compression that could happen. In other words, be long the 980s, short the 1010s or something like that. Just, some idea.
Okay. Well, something to look at. Seems like it never comes down. And then one more you got for us today. We're going to like the way you look. Is that the same stock? People still buying
That
suits?
is. Yep, they still do. And you know what they also do, Andrew? They're coming off one of their biggest seasons, tuxedo rentals. TLRD, Tailored, is the former Men's Warehouse and Joseph A. Bank put together. The largest renter of tuxedos in the world.
God, the first prom play I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
A lot of that money just got banked.
So there you should have gone on TV with like some powder blue, ruffled, tuxed, shirt thing and say, John, why are you wearing this thing from the 70s? They're like, well, because that would have been funny. That would have been good TV. So TRLD, what are they buying?
Yeah, Tailored. RD. They're buying January, I think the stock was 11. They might have been buying the 15s or something like that, Andrew. I bought the 13s and I was selling the 15s and 16s against it. So I was doing what I just talked about on Amazon, defining my risk, cutting into volatility and time decay, even though with January options, you generally aren't as concerned about time decay anyway.
Okay.
Generally.
And we can all find out more about this over at Investitute if you care to learn more about these strategies and other ideas that we put out daily through this podcast.
Yeah, both. yeah, you can find out about the actual trades as well as the how to do them. And we actually, throughout the day, we're posting up trades all day long on that site. So again, another great way to follow along with professionals, learn a little bit from professionals about how they manage risk, and all of that happens at invest2.com. So yeah, please do check it out. And we've got a surprise, Andrew. Later in the week, I hope to have our first appearance by Reform Broker on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about that offline here. Well, I'm going to end the podcast for today, and then we can talk about that.
All right. So there's a little teaser for you, folks. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always subscribe on iTunes or through YouTube, and we'll talk to you soon.